Welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and I help private practice owners align their business back with their soul's calling, with their big vision and with their soul's purpose. Unlike other private practice coaches, I've traveled the world in search of spiritual resources, spiritual tools, education and information so that you can have the transformation that your soul desires and needs so that you can up-level your business. How much fun is this? I love it so much. Guys, if you're not already a member of the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group, please check out the show notes. I would love for you to be there. In the meantime, thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Storme. Thank you so much for pushing play and spending another morning with me. I love it so much, being able to share all of this fun stuff with you. Well, I think it's fun. I hope you do too. And I want to say thank you so much. It has been so interesting this week. Somebody listened to the podcast and sent me a virtual bouquet of flowers, and that was really so lovely. And I've printed it off and I've popped it up on the wall next to my computer. And somebody else was listening to the podcast and made some changes to her website. It's just done a complete 180. She's managed to transform it from something that was okay, but now it's so much clearer and it's so easy for a client to go and book their appointment, and it's just easier to navigate, and it looks beautiful, and it has a message on it that really resonates. And I'm so proud of her for doing it. I know it's always hard making change, isn't it? But see what happens when you have that level of motivation and you have that level of commitment. You make the change. And I'm quite confident that this website is so improved that you will start to see more traffic to it over the next little while. Or if you're not currently driving traffic to that website, the traffic that is coming, I think you will find they spend a little bit longer on the website, which is fantastic for Google, of course. That's going to put you in good favor with them, and hopefully it will generate some more inquiries for you. So I guess if you've updated your website now as a result of listening to the last episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast, your next step is going to be in lead generation. Okay. But that's not what we're talking about today, is it? No, it's not. In fact, I'm sitting here Friday morning, getting ready to start the day. Got some clients today, this afternoon, taking delivery of the spa. Oh my gosh, this spa, I know it sounds a little bit retro, doesn't it? But I've wanted a spa for years. Honestly, for years. I swear I'm a water baby. I'm not a water sign. I'm an earth sign. But I love spas. I don't know why. I just do. Anyway, when I bought my very first house all by myself without any help, it had a spa in it. And I spent more time in that spa than I did inside the house. And then I moved. So that was in Tyab, which is in Victoria. And then I ended up purchasing my home in Hastings, which was a bigger home. It was close to the water. It was just amazing. Loved it so much, but it didn't have a spa. And I have all my vision boards. So I was at that home from 2014 to last year, and every year I do vision board, and those of you who follow me, you've seen me do the workshops on them and show you my finished vision boards. Every single year I had the spa on my vision board, and I never did it. And here's why. I always had this feeling in the back of my mind not to make any permanent changes to that house, because I knew it wasn't my forever home. Even though I loved it, my intuition told me, don't put anything down here because it's not your forever home. Anyway, as you know, sold the home, have a new place now, loving it. And do you know what popped up on my feed a little while ago? Spa sale. And do you know what my intuition said? My intuition said, hey, you should get that spa now. So guess what? I bought the spa, paid in full, felt really good to do that. when I paid in full, I got some extras like my little spa steps and things like that. So I'm really excited, and it comes today, and they're bringing a crane to deliver it because I've got to put it over the house so it can get into the backyard. And of course, I'm not great with spatial awareness, so I'm praying that the spa's going to fit out the back. We'll work something out. So yeah, that's happening at about lunchtime today. And then, get this afternoon, I am going to the hairdresser. No, I haven't been to the hairdresser since, well, COVID started. So what's happened is my very curly hair, and because I'm spending so much time inside as well, my very curly hair has now gone very dark, and it's a little bit, it's in need of some TLC. So going to the hairdresser tonight, looking forward to showing you my new do in the morning, tomorrow morning. And tomorrow is a big day as well, because super excited. Not only will I be filling up the spa, but I have the masterclass tomorrow where I'm teaching you how to connect with your perfect for your practice client. And I'm super excited because I've added something extra into that, which is everybody's going to leave on the day with a piece of content that they'll be able to go out and use and implement right away to start getting more referrals. So I can't wait for that. There are still some places if you want to come along. Hit pause on the podcast, scroll down to the show notes, and you can register. It's only 47 Australian dollars. After that, it will be sold as its own product for $4.97. So if you want to get it. You don't have to turn up tomorrow if it's not convenient, but at least you will have got access to it without paying the big price ticket. In other news, let's go on with the show. Okay, so what do I want to talk to you about today? I want to talk to you about why your clients aren't booking sessions with you. I know, I thought we'd do a little bit of a twist. Instead of me sort of giving you guidance all the time about what to do and how to do it and everything, I thought we'd take it from a different perspective, because you know me, I love to look at things from different angles. And I want to share with you some reasons why clients are not buying. And this means, yes, of course, when they're booking an appointment and they're paying for it, you've sold something. You're always selling, you're in business. So let's have a look at the other side from a client perspective about why clients might not be buying from you. Okay, so the first thing is they're not buying from you because they don't know what it is you actually do, and they don't know what kind of result that they're going to get. Why wouldn't a client understand exactly what you do or what result you're going to get? Why do you think that might be? It might be because the messaging is off. It might be because the copy is a little bit off. You know, I say this all the time. You need to write copy not only for your website and Psychology Today and all those other places, but anything that you write needs to resonate with your client. It can't be too general. It can't be too surface level. When you hide, your clients cannot find you. And so then when you come along, you say, oh, clients can't find me, but I don't want to be visible. That's telling me exactly where we need to focus your attention, because you're sabotaging yourself from being able to be found. So have a look. If you're struggling to get referrals, and what's a good flow of inquiries? A good flow of inquiries is about 5 a week. That's what most new private practices would be looking for, and that would be inquiries. So people who are phoning your practice and wanting more information or wanting to book in. It would be people who are making inquiries through email or through your pop-up on your website, people who are contacting you on your Instagram DMs or Facebook. And they're asking you more about what you do and how you do it. And they're filling you out about whether or not you're going to be the right practitioner for them to work with. So you have to be really, really clear in what you do. And I've mentioned this before, but for those of you who might be new to the show, I want to really make it so clear that if I can look at your website, if I can take the information on your website and I can put it on my own website and it would still make sense, then you're going to have a problem attracting referrals. If that information is too general, it's not going to land for the people that need to hear it. So don't be afraid to be more specific about what you do. Some of this comes down to the niche that you have, of course, but really it comes down to how deeply you are able to build that connection with a cold audience. A cold audience is somebody who's new to you. They've not heard of you before. Maybe you've just popped up in their feed because one of their friends liked a post you had or something. So this is the first thing. The other reason that clients might hesitate to book an appointment with you or to enroll in your course, those of you who have courses or those of you who are doing coaching, you've got high ticket programs and things like that, isn't because of you. It's often because of them. Okay. Remember, the people that we work with, even me working with you, there are people that we work with that wonder if they are worth that investment. Am I worth investing $10,000 into my coaching? Am I worth that? Am I good enough? Do you know what I mean? It's this internal stuff that your client goes through where they have to weigh up for themselves how comfortable they feel investing in themselves. And that has no bearing on whether or not your program is good or effective or gets results. That's totally independent of you. This is about them. And the sooner that you can understand how to listen out for the cues, because the clients give you cues when they're making those inquiries. When you know how to listen out for them and pick up on them, then you will be able to support them. Your job on that inquiry call is not to sell them anything. Your job on that inquiry call or discovery call is to help that client have all the information they need that's relevant to them so that they can make a decision for themselves. That's it. You just want to provide them with anything that's relevant. So yes, help them out. If they've got a problem and you're saying on my call, I'm going to give you 3 steps, which is what I do. So I ask them about what's happening in the practice, where are you at, what's going on, all of that sort of stuff. I listen deeply and then I say, right, let me speak this back. Is that right? They'll say yes. I say great. And then I will give them I'll say, these are the 3 things that you need to work on to get your practice where you want it to be. That's the call. And then there's an invitation there. I can absolutely help you with this because it's what I do. This is my zone of genius. It's not yours. Your zone of genius is EMDR, for example. My zone of genius is getting private practice owners out of a pickle so that they can do the things that they really want to do. And I will invite them and say, do you want to hear some ideas that I've got about what I've got available that might be able to support you? And nearly all the time people say, yeah, actually, I would like to hear that. And so it's about you being able to listen and tune in. And also it's about you being able to get yourself out of the mindset of, I have to book this person in. I have to book them in for their counseling. I have to book them in this evergreen course. I have to book them in this coaching. Stop. When you do that, you're not bringing a healthy energy to that interaction that you're going to be having. You will feel it. They will feel it. And it's not going to go anywhere. And if it does and they end up signing up with you, do you know what? They're going to end up bailing or not participating in the program or not finishing it and not getting the result. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want that for them. You want them to get the result, right? You want them to have that sense of achievement and confidence and empowerment that comes from doing the work and getting the outcome. So don't go into those discovery calls or inquiry calls feeling like you have to book this person in, because you don't. Your job is to help that person see if this is right for them. It's not about you. It's about supporting that person. Okay? And when you detach from the outcome and you say, do you know what? My job here is not to get a sale. My job here is not to enroll someone or book them in. My job's just to help them make a decision. you bring this whole different energy, and chances are a lot of the time people will either say, do you know what, that's exactly what I need, and if you have capacity for another client, I would love to sign up. Can you tell me more about what's involved? How do we get started? What does that look like? The other thing that can happen is I'll say, do you know what, this sounds amazing, but it's not for me right now. And do you know what, a lot of the time, those people will come back to you. They hadn't considered that this was even an option. They hadn't considered that it was possible for them to get this kind of support or help or result, because they've been stuck in that space of stuckness and fear and doubt and not, feelings of not good enough and not worthy enough and all of that. And now you've come along and said, well, actually, I see potential in you. I see that you are worthy enough. I see that you're absolutely good enough. And here's what we can do. You've suddenly turned their world upside down, and there will be some people that need time to let it all settle. And you know what? It might be 4 weeks, a month. It might be 3 months. It might be 6 months. It might be 12, but they'll come back to you because you made an impact. And that impact that you made was helping them see what's possible, and you didn't push. Okay, so it's not about you getting the sale. It's about you supporting your clients or your potential clients to make informed decisions about what's right for them in terms of their next steps. And that, my friends, is selling. And I think that that is a beautiful, 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 beautiful process, because when you can approach those conversations in a way that's empowering for your clients, it raises the vibe and it raises the energy. And it's nice not to have that pressure on you, but how nice is it for them to be able to say, oh, I'm not being sold to here. Do you know what I mean? So the selling for me, the way I describe selling, the way I think of selling is, the transaction. The transaction happens when the person pays for their appointment or they pay for that thing. But I think selling is less to do with me and it's more about my clients. And my approach is, I don't care if somebody enrolls or not. Like, that's not my motivation for doing the calls. The motivation I have for doing the calls is empowering my clients to know what's out there. And I do that by inviting them to hear what's out there. I want them to know what's out there so they can make an informed decision about the right next step for them. So I hope that helps you understand differently what sales looks like. And the reason that I wanted to share this with you was because I often see, it's so interesting, I've got these 2 groups, and one of the groups, ACPPO, I have weekly bite-sized trainings in there. There's free trainings, there's PDF guides, there's workshops, all this stuff on selling and marketing and advertising and all of this sort of stuff. And people, for whatever reason, they don't watch the training, work through the workbook. They don't do any of that, but they'll be constantly in the group saying, how do you get referrals? And it's not only about how you get a referral, you have to be able to know what to say to that person when they make that inquiry. And that's where a lot of practitioners struggle, because they make it about themselves. I don't want to sell a session to a client. I don't want to sell my program. Selling feels icky and yucky, and I don't like that. So what I would suggest is, if you are somebody who struggles and makes the selling about yourself, the thing that worked for me was really connecting back with why I do this. Why did I become a counselor? Why did I become a psychologist? Why did I create the program? Why did I create the email subscription? Why did I put it all together? And when I connect with that why, I'm not thinking about me. I'm not thinking about myself. My ego mind is not engaged, but my heart and my soul is. And so then I can talk about those things from a place of authenticity, right? And I'm genuine. I can be genuine, and I can speak from my heart, and I can speak with love. And it's that ability to connect with your why that will help those of you that struggle with the idea of closing a sale or inviting a sale or making a sale. It's what's going to help you with that. Okay. Now, it's really, really normal and understandable and reasonable for you to be making selling about you, especially because nobody's ever taught you this before. And that's why I love to teach it on the podcast. I love to teach it to my coaching clients and share it in my groups as well. Like, I give my information so freely because it's my highest intention this year. I want everybody, every single member of that ACPPO group who are either in private practice or they're finishing their studies and getting ready to start, or whatever stage of private practice they're at, by the end of the year, I want them to be celebrating success, whatever it looks like for them. I want them to be celebrating success. And so by hook or by crook, I will show up on this podcast twice a week. I'll show up in that group once a week with a training. I will show up in that group every single day to help, guide, encourage, because that outcome is the most important thing for me. All right. It's not about, like, their success is what's important for me, not my sales. Okay. So what happens is when you connect with why you do it, you find yourself doing non-traditional sales things, like me with my group. That was never about sales. It was always about giving counselors a space just their own. And what happened as a result of that was, because it wasn't about selling, because it was something I loved to do and was so meaningful to me, that was my big why. What ended up happening is many of my current clients have actually come from that group now, and that was never intended. What happened was those clients that I work with now got to see my passion, see my commitment, see the energy, see the knowledge, all of that sort of stuff, see what I was creating. And they're like, hey, I want to work with this person. And so that's what happened. So it happened all very, very organically. And by the time people were booking in discovery calls, you know what? We already knew each other. They knew me, I knew them. Well, we knew each other by names on screens, but it was really nice to connect with people in real time on the phone or on Zoom back then, and really connect. And there wasn't any selling because they already knew what I was and what I did and all of that sort of stuff. So it was all removed from the equation, and those calls just became conversations around, this is where I am stuck personally, this is what I need for my practice. So it kind of went from, if you like, group fitness training to getting personal training. That's not my analogy. One of my clients said that, and I said I was going to borrow it. So I think it's so good. And that's just what happened. So now my diary is fully booked for my coaching side of the practice without any selling. Okay. Just by me connecting in with my why. So I don't think you've got to do big Facebook ads and fork out a lot of money for Google ads or things like that. I think you just have to connect with what's important to you, why you're doing this, why you work with the clients you work with, why you work with this presenting challenge, why you work with, you know what I mean? All of that sort of stuff. And that's what's going to create a channel of abundance for you and for your clients, for you and your client group. It's their channel of abundance because they get your energy, they get your wisdom, they get your guidance, they get time with you, and it's your channel of abundance as well, obviously. So it's that flow. And this is what we talk about when we're creating a private practice with soul. It's energy in, energy out, energy in, energy out. But if you're kinking that hose and saying, do you know what? I want to do my marketing, but I don't actually want anybody to pay me, which is what you're saying when you say, I don't like selling, then we've got a kink in the hose. And what's going to happen is your clients want you to be their channel of abundance, but you're blocking it from coming to you. So the things that I want you to take away from today's episode is there is no shortage of clients. Your perfect for you clients are already out there in abundance, and they are waiting for you to show up. They have the energy primed and ready to go, but there's nowhere for it to go yet because you're in your head about what it means, what you're making it mean to sell. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I want you to take your pen and paper and really think about what selling means to you. So maybe have a journal prompt and say, when I think about selling, this is how I feel. And just dot point or free write everything that comes out. When I think about selling, I feel it here in my body. When I think about selling, this is the self-talk that I have. When I think about selling, these are the memories that I have. Whatever it is. But the further and the deeper you can go with that exercise that I just gave you there, you will be able to get a clearer understanding of how you may be energetically getting in your own way of helping the people that you spent all those years, those thousands of dollars, those thousands of hours training to go and help. And I want you to be able to connect with them because I see your potential. I know what you're capable of. Of course, I know what you're capable of. You're someone who is able to commit to things. You're someone who's teachable. You're someone who's good at learning new things. You're someone that is willing and has an open mind. You're someone who likes change. You're someone who likes direction and guidance. So I know that you are absolutely capable of turning this around. And that's my intention with this episode today, to help you raise your awareness about how you might be blocking things yourself so that you can see where you need to do a little bit of work for yourself. You know, we use the word mindset a lot, don't we? And we kind of go, oh, mindset stuff. But honestly, if you have some kind of block there, it's time to get some support to help release that block so that we can restore that energy flow, okay? And that's how you're going to be able to build your practice. So I hope that this makes a world of sense. I hope that you really, 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 really liked it. I am going to head off now and get ready for my very first client who I cannot wait to talk to. And then, I'm just going to go and have like this awesome day again. And I hope that you have an awesome day too, everybody. Thank you so, 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 so much for listening to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. If you loved it, let me know. Give it a like, give it a comment, share it with somebody. Let me know a takeaway or an aha moment. And I just want to thank you again so much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast today. If you're looking for clarity, if you need help with branding, your processes, and bringing everything into alignment with your soul's purpose for your private practice, head to the show notes and click the link for more information about the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. You are going to love it. I can't wait to see you in there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.